Buyurun.
Bizim bu ortak partilerimiz olurdu, çaylarımız.
Merhaba.
Merhaba. What brings you to Istanbul?
Okay. Well, travel to Istanbul has been a project I have had in my mind for many, many years. There are a few reasons. One of them was to come back to a country that when I left Iran in 1982, I traveled through Turkey to go to West, and I stayed there up to now, 2024. So I've never been back here. So I wanted to come back and then to see just how it feels to be back to a country through which I took my passage to go to the West for almost 40 few years. And then besides, I have met Pelin Yazard, my painter friend, who I'm staying at his studio right now in Montreal around 2004 or 5. And so there was a friendship that was created through this meeting, and by then I was working for an Asian art festival through which I organized an exhibition that included Pelin and having her as a guest artist for my exhibition, we developed a friendship and also an open conversation about art, about my art, about her art, about art in general. For many years during the time that Pelin was living in Montreal. And then she moved back to Istanbul to continue her work here. And we kept in touch, and then she told me that she has now a big studio in which she paints, but at the same time she offers courses to the other people, and asked me if I wanted to come and stay here in her studio and paint, and then maybe develop a conversation with her, and then somehow through this friendship and conversation maybe something comes out that could be presented as an art exhibition, which I certainly accepted it, and I was very happy to come back and see her and then be in the studio, and then at the same time catch up with Turkey, through which I had traveled 4 years ago. And then at the same time I thought while I'm here I could sort of learn more about art, contemporary art and traditional art here in Turkey, and so it was so many different levels or layers of reasons for which I've been here now for 6 weeks, and I'll be here for another couple of weeks. And so it's been a very rich experience, and I think the most important thing for me, besides discovering about the city and sort of reactivate my friendship with Pelin and her friends and her circle of artists, was also to get to know about her work with children. That I was honored to be part of her class. Once she invited me to go to one of her classes, which I was very touched by the environment of the work and the presence of the children and their interaction with Pelin and myself. I got involved, and even though I don't speak the language, but through art we could communicate very well. And it really touched my heart, and since then I think the most important influence of this travel and this residency up to now has been this very magical moment of encountering the children and working with them. And since then I have this sort of the great desire to go back to this approach of the children that they have towards art. It's a very direct, non-judgmental sort of without any thinking process, just immediately getting involved with the art was very, very impressive. And yeah, I've been very touched by that, and I'm trying to catch up with that and sort of integrate this again into my work. It's the city of cats, birds, and fishes. This is the 3 things that I've seen over and over and over, even though the fishes are in the sea, but I can see them around. A lot of people catching them, but they have such an important presence. I can smell them from here. The studio I'm in is very close by the Bosphorus, so I can maybe a few hundred meters, 5-10 minutes walk, I'll be by the beach. So and then the birds who sing in the morning, the seabirds, I wake up with them and I hear them throughout the day. It's very pleasant. And of course the cats, that I had never seen so many cats in the city, very close to the people and people very close to them. It was very impressive. Besides that, it's a beautiful city, very huge, multi-layers, so much art all over, the architecture. But the city has many as well different neighborhoods. Some of them I felt being 19th century, some of them 20th century, some of them futuristic, with all different kinds of sensation throughout the city. Yeah, there are so much things to see, so much things to sort of grasp about the city, learning about the history as well. It was kind of interesting for me to learn more about the history of the Istanbul, the past and the present. And I'm here during a period of elections, so I see city election for the mayor of the Istanbul, which I think happens in a few weeks. So I'll see all these sort of political movements at the same time. So it's very dynamic city. You know, when I get out and go for a walk or go to the city to visit, after 6-7 hours, I'm exhausted because there are so much to see, so much to observe, and at the same time, in the context of the city, which is very crowded and noisy, but in a very good way, it just sort of, I melt into it, and when I walk around, I feel like I've been lost in some sort of different period of the history. But I really enjoy it. And the people are very nice. Even though I don't speak Turkish, I can very well communicate with everybody. And I've been enjoying it very much so far. Yes.
And the art you did in Istanbul, maybe.
Yeah, so since I was here, being in Pelin's studio was such a privilege, because first of all, the studio is very big, beautiful windows, beautiful view. My studio in Montreal is very small and dark, so I have to light it up with so many lights. But here, purposely, I don't turn the lights on when I paint, because there are so much light here, and I like to paint with the natural light. So it's a lot of fun doing this here. And I didn't have any plan to sort of do a specific painting, because I think to do a painting, I usually personally don't plan. I go with my feelings, and that's why I sit in front of the white surface, and then communication happens, and then the feelings and all the elements that help me to go through the creative process comes on its own. So I really didn't came here to sit down and say, okay, I'm in Istanbul, I'm going to paint Istanbul. I was more, as I said earlier, I was more touched and influenced by my meeting with the children than, for example, going to a museum and seeing the old traditional Turkish art. I'm not saying which one is more valuable, but I'm saying that which one has more connection with me. I think that as well. And then I think when you go to a new city, and then you go to a new culture, and you go through all these, because the culture is not only about painting, there are so many other elements as well. But I think it would take, sometimes to sort of observe that and process that, and I'm sure somehow some sort of influence would come out. But for now, I'm not looking, I'm not searching, I'm not trying to do something about it. I'm just like living every moment of it. I think to live the moments here is most important thing that I've been doing, and I've been very, very much enjoying doing it. So. The story, there are so many stories, but for a painter to share is to share his or her own painting, which was very nice. I mean, thanks to you guys, all our friends and her friends who since I've been here, been taking care of me, bringing me all over the city, presenting me to different artists, art institutes, art galleries. So through all these back and forth, I was lucky to be able to connect with one of the very good art galleries here in Istanbul, contemporary art galleries, that saw my work through internet and accepted it to present my work in a collective exhibition very soon, in a matter of a month, I think in April. So I think this is a moment that I can share some of my work with the people here in real life, not on the internet, but in a real setup of an art gallery. And I'm very excited and happy that it is a collective exhibition, because I think in a collective exhibition you always get a chance to bring your work in the context of other artists' works, which sort of makes it a more dynamic, in the sense that you can see the differences, and then sort of the notion behind the collective art exhibition, that's that the dialogue between the artists can be more visible. So I'm very, very excited that I'll be showing some of my work soon here in Istanbul. For next time, well, I mean, I've been enjoying it so much here, and as you are aware, some other galleries are interested to present my work. So we'll be working with help of people like yourself to develop this conversation, this dialogue that I began with a couple of art galleries. And if everything goes well, I would like to come back next year in 2025 for a solo exhibition.
It was nice.
Well, I don't want to say goodbye because I really want to come back. But yes, I've been very, very. I've been attached to so many people here over the last 5-6 weeks. I've met so many friends. Even though, as I said, I cannot communicate with them, deeply, but I know there is something very strong happening right there. So I'm very happy to have met so many people, so many wonderful people who have been very supportive of me and coming to visit me. Even some neighbors, they bring me food, and I go to the cafes, they offer me free cafe and tea and everything. I'm very, very touched by that, and people follow me to help me to get to the places I want. Anyhow, it's been such a wonderful experience. So I'll certainly miss them in next little while we won't be here. But as I said, I've been so encouraged to come back. So and especially with the idea of having the exhibition, I'm looking forward to coming back and then bringing more of my work and then developing more friendship and conversation and dialogue with the people around. One of the very good things that happened to me during this travel to Istanbul this year was getting to know the second part of activities of Pelin, which is the art education. And I knew about it, but I never been present while she was doing it. So she teaches both at her studio here, and she also teaches at the school, which is very close by, a public elementary school. So she invited me to go to one of her classes, which was very, very fruitful for me. First of all, I enjoyed being with the children. They were all young, I think first grade and second grade. And just being in the environment and joyfully working with them, painting with them. I modeled for them, so it was about portrait painting or drawing. And so I offered to model for the children, and they were wonderful. They all got involved, and then they did a fantastic portraits of me. And I was very happy to see that. What makes me happy about is that the children really do have an amazing connection with art. And I remember even once I was a student reading about art history, was this thing I read about Picasso, who said, all my life I tried to paint like a child. And now when I saw this, I mean, I knew that I am already very close to the children before in my life, and I painted it with them. I even have paintings that have been done with my own son when he was very, very, very young, 4 or 5 years old. But anyhow, to see this energy, positive and creative, coming out without any hesitation, it really touches me, and I think it's a very, very good idea that these classes exist, that they allow the children to be in touch with themselves, because it's the only topic that children don't need instructor in a sense that they have to learn something. In a drawing or painting classes that Pelin offers, she gives them also very much freedom. So it's about the children to get involved with themselves and then get the whatever it is inside them to come out. And most of the time, the results is fantastic, because there is all fantasy in the mind and the heart of the children. So I think this is very, very good for them, and very happy for Pelin to be able to offer this to these wonderful children, and also the school that offers the support for it. This is all to see all that was very, very rich and fruitful for me as a person.